Okay, friends, final stretch of this appeal. CityCast is surveying our listeners, that is, you, to learn more about you. This survey will help us make CityCast Las Vegas a better, more useful podcast. So please take the survey at citycast.fm/survey. It's only 5 minutes. citycast.fm/survey. And everyone who takes it will also be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card. citycast.fm/survey. It sure has become easy to drop hundreds of dollars on a show in Las Vegas, but that's not for every day, and certainly not the millions of locals who want and honestly deserve great entertainment for less. Worry not. We've got the ticket with the next installment of our Summer Entertainment Guide, where we help you make the most of this short, sweet season that's upon us. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, the List.Vegas editor Andrew Kiraly runs down an extensive and intensive array of quality, low-cost, and even free offerings this summer that every budget-seeking Las Vegan should know about. It's Monday, June 12th. I'm Dayvid Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Andrew Kiraly of TheList.Vegas. Welcome back to CityCast Las Vegas.
Hey, thanks for having me, David. Great to be here.
Andrew, it seems like we can't go to any shows or events without taking a big financial hit, and sometimes a monster hit. Cough, cough, Taylor Swift, cough, cough, Stanley Cup Finals. Has Las Vegas priced itself out of the sort of fun things that we may have taken for granted in the past?
I think so. And I think also a lot of these, big mega concert events, they also just take up so much sort of like attentional space. So I feel like your average Las Vegan forgets that there is so much great, cheap and free entertainment to be had all throughout the valley that doesn't necessarily entail, shelling out, $100, $200 for, a big night on the strip or at some kind of big box venue. So, you are absolutely right.
I think 100 or 200 is generous. I have friends who labor over the idea of, are they going to shell out $600, $800, $1,200 for a single ticket to an event? I mean, what has happened to our city?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And not to be pluggy about it, but that's one of the reasons I started the List.Vegas is because I was like, there's so much, good, cheap, community kind of based entertainment out there that, again, doesn't, require an arm and a leg and a mortgage, So I feel you.
And that sweet kidney, that's the extra. So, Andrew, let's take our cue from that. Forget about the high-priced items. I mean, that is what it is. Let's talk about what are the best free things to do in Las Vegas this summer.
Amen. A lot of the things that I really enjoy going to are the small scale rock shows that take place in, all kinds of cool bars in Las Vegas and these smaller clubs. And one of my favorite spots in town is a bar on Vegas Valley Drive, just off Maryland Parkway. It's called Red Dwarf. They're kind of a thing right now for their slabby, flavorlicious Detroit-style pizza, but they actually have a really robust live music roster. 4 or 5 nights a week, they are busting out with everything from punk to blues to surf to country. One show that's on my radar I'm really excited about is an upcoming June 16th show. This guy, his name's Max Fight, which is just a great rock and roll name, right? And he does this kind of really, and it's like he does this bluesy kind of power poppy, straight ahead rock, but it is just very mature, very catchy. The thing that's great about the Red Dwarf shows is they very rarely have a cover charge. Their beer prices are reasonable. And they've actually got a good selection. Yeah. And it's great spots. And usually what I do when I go to the Red Dwarf, I try to make a little itinerary out of it. And sometimes I'll just stop across the street, across Maryland Parkway. There's a little
At the
venue
Plasma
called
Bank?
Player One.
Oh, Player
Yeah,
One.
yeah.
Sorry. I
That's
just want
what
to
you
make
need
sure.
if you're going to the strip.
Because that is right across the street from the Red Dwarf.
Oh yeah, I meant across Maryland Parkway. There's a little arcade bar called Player One.
Yeah.
And again, cheap entertainment. They have all the machines set to free play. You pay $5 to get in. They got a great micro brews on tap. So what I'll usually do is head over there, have a drink or two, play some pinball, and then head over to a really cool show at Red Dwarf. So that's one of those spots on my radar. How about you? What's on your roster?
Well, I like the no cover concept, and I did see that Red Dwarf has a few of those. I think also Sandollar down at the Plaza seems to not have a cover, or when they do, it's very rare. I like focusing on the free for a second. So whether a bar has a cover or not, I think the Double Down never has a cover. And they have entertainment there every night.
Yeah, there's another band that I've been tracking that they're actually a local band. Are you familiar with chiptune music or Nintendo Core? There's actually a band playing there on the 16th as well, coincidentally, called Decaying Tigers. And Double Down's kind of known at the Double Down.
Okay.
And Double Down kind of, for better or worse, they've kind of, pigeonholed as a punk venue. But they actually have a pretty diverse roster of entertainment there. And Decaying Tigers is one of those bands. They play like this frantic, synthy, Nintendo Core kind of music that is definitely unique. So yeah, a lot of always some cool stuff going on over there as well.
Totally sounds like fun. I love the little bars that have a stage that take it at least semi-serious. And there's probably options throughout the valley. But what about for something other than just going seeing bands in a bar? I mean, not everyone's of age. Not everybody wants to be in the bar setting. What other good free outings are there?
I got you covered.
It's
no secret that the library district, isn't just a, cluster of book warehouses. They actually do, an incredible amount of cultural programming, and they do, hella free concerts every weekend. And, I think when people think of classical music, they think of Artemis Ham Hall at UNLV, or of course, Reynolds Hall at the Smith Center. But actually, there is some really good classical music programming happening all throughout the library system. And one that's on my radar is there's a June 21st concert at the Summerlin Library. Pianist Gabriela Pfannenstiel is going to be playing a program of all the heavyweight classic dudes, Beethoven, Chopin, Ravel, Bach. Again, free concert. Very talented touring artist, but just goes to show to get, world-class classical music, you don't necessarily have to go to, one of your sort of marquee venues, and the library district really does a lot of great shows on that front.
Yeah, Andrew, sometimes I'll go to the website, and Clark County Library District has a pretty good smattering because they have so many different libraries across the valley. So no matter what part of town you live in, I would say that that's a definite, go-to is to just straight up head over to the library district's website. And sometimes you find out some cool holiday events coming up. And I guess we do have some holidays coming up in short order. Right?
Yeah, June is the month of Juneteenth, and again, the library district and so many other cultural organizations have some great Juneteenth programming. Also on my radar is on June 17th at the West Las Vegas Library. They're holding the Miss Juneteenth pageant and concert, and it's going to have jazz music and a beautiful pageant. So it's supposed to be really, really cool. And on the 17th at the Clark County Library, they're actually doing a Juneteenth spoken word events. They're going to be people reading from short stories, essay excerpts, and historic journal entries by pioneering Black authors. So again, free, family-oriented event. Again, on the 17th also, the James Gibson Library is holding a Juneteenth poetry reading. These community events that take place at the libraries are really often overlooked, cultural treasure.
There seems to be a lot more jazz in Las Vegas right now, and a lot of that is also free. I know about the live jazz every third Sunday of the month over at the downtown Container Park. That's just one of many jazz events that's happening around the valley.
I was going to say, in a lot of these jazz venues, they do, you sort of are obligated or whatever to, have a certain spend on your food and beverage. But a lot of the spots like Max and Jazz on Spring Mountain, Gatsby Supper Club at the Gambit in Henderson, no cover charge. Dispensary Lounge apparently has come back. The cool little jazz bar on what, Trop and Eastern.
Yeah, with the great hamburgers and the water wheel.
Yeah, and the water wheel that is either, it's like Schrodinger's cat. It's either working or it's not. And then, of course, we can't forget Vic's Las Vegas, the new spot in Symphony Park. And actually, one concert on my radar is a June 30th performance. Hopefully I don't mispronounce his name, but Domas Zaromskas. He is this young Lithuanian jazz pianist and composer. This virtuoso is playing with Julian Brooks, who's a local alto saxophonist. They're playing June 30th at Vic's. And so again, some good jazz to be had for not a lot of bucks.
Yeah, although Vic's has a bit of a pricey thing around it. It's a new spot. You kind of got to go in and order a meal, I think, to be able to hear the jazz.
Yeah, there are some minimum spends you're expected to make, but compared to, again, corporate venue on the Strip, you're going to come out a lot less scathed.
Are you saying corporate jazz still sucks?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, all right, Andrew, let's notch it up a little bit. Let's move away from free because, this is Vegas after all. You're going to be spending some money. But let's say, Andrew, you got $20 in your pocket. That's your budget for the night, and you're looking for 2 hours or so of excellent distraction. What are your best options?
2 hours for $20. Well, one thing that's coming up that's $20 a pop that I think is a good entertainment value. This weekend, June 16th through the 18th, is the second weekend of Las Vegas Little Theater's Fringe Festival, which has all these weird short plays. It's not only it's not only cheap for your wallet, but it's also easy on your attention span because they promise that every play is no longer than an hour. It's $20 a ticket, so if you caught 2 hours, you would be spending $40. But a lot of great talent there, a lot of weird experimental plays. One of the featured acts is this local improv group with the called Cardio Spider, and they're apparently very beloved for their wacky, mischievous improv. And you were mentioning poetry, spoken word, things like that. I have not been to this spot yet, but it's really kind of pinging on my radar, and it's called Mom's Basement Theater. It's on Sahara.
I keep seeing ads for that. I think I saw it. They had a storytelling production over there that goes on once a month.
That's what I was going to mention, actually. They're now doing on the last Friday of the month. It's called Around the Campfire. It's a live storytelling show a la Story Slam at Charleston Heights or The Moth, of course. So June 30th, they've got a show coming up. The theme is smoke signals. And then July 28th and August 25th, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just $10. But judging by the connections that they have in the community with improv and other performance groups, I haven't been there, so I can't, fully endorse it, but I think it's a safe bet for $10. So I think you probably can't go wrong with that.
Andrew, some great options. A lot of city center. How about a little further out? Anything in the burbs that's been catching your attention? If you got that 20 in your pocket.
Yeah, we actually list a lot of events that take place in Henderson and Henderson adjacent. So a couple that are popping on my radar include the Henderson Pride Fest, which is Saturday, June 17th. It's at Sunset Park. Technically it's not in Henderson, but it's Hendersonian enough. And actually at Water Street Plaza on Friday the 16th, they're holding a 2-day Henderson Juneteenth Festival. And I just really want to give a hearty shout out to Water Street Plaza and the Water Street Amphitheater because they actually do a really great roster of free live music programming. They do everything from, like Django style jazz to family music events. But also they do, have like a farmer's market. They do like garage sales and other community events. So, and most of those Henderson Water Street Plaza events are free or very cheap. So I always try to keep them on the dashboard, as it were.
Yeah, Water Street's looking great, ever evolving over the last couple of decades, but I think they're finally hitting a stride. It's nice.
Yeah. Henderson is definitely sort of evolving from kind of that reputation for kind of being sleepy suburban bedroom communities to actually being not only a reason to go and catch some cool entertainment, but their culinary scene is picking up as well. So yeah, shout out to Henderson.
I also don't want to leave out the casinos. I mean, we've been very careful to stay out of them, and I like that very much. But also, I've always said to people that almost every casino has some free attraction that's totally worth checking out. And what I'm thinking about right now is the 626 night market over at the Palms that's happening on June 17th and 18th. I guess that's a Asian food market with lots of different vendors available. It's free to get in. Of course, you have to buy the food once you're there, but you could probably get a couple good treats for that $20, right?
Yeah. That we've listed that as well. And speaking of that, actually, Tivoli Village is also coming on strong with a pretty heavy roster of these. They call them night markets now. That's kind of like the sort of the trendy term. So the 626 at the Palms, which I haven't been to yet, but the recurring ones that are happening at Tivoli are pretty fun. They bring out the food trucks. They got your local vendors selling everything from baked goods to fresh vegetables to artisanal crafts and handmade items and stuff like that. There's a sort of a lot to do on that front as far as the recurring night market style entertainment. And actually another one that's on my radar that I do want to mention, June 17th at Cornish Pasty in the Arts District. And this event pops up at various venues around town, and it's called Market Macabre. And so think of a night market in the gothiest sense. And it's a market that sells like spooky and occult items and metaphysical stuff.
Ooh, Nightmare Market.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just did a voice.
Looking for...
Did you like that voice, Andrew?
I like that. I felt some goosebumps. Yeah.
I might stand outside Cornish Pasty and just do that. Welcome to Nightmare Market until they 86 me from the property.
There you go. Yeah. So if you're looking for, handmade goods like spooky jewelry and, artisanal crafts and, voodoo dolls and stuff like that, it's $5 to enter. And then, the stuff is presumably, reasonably priced.
Oh, cool. All right, Andrew, as we wind down this journey, let's take a little bit of a left turn. I mean, it's Las Vegas, and, we who live here, we do it every day. We don't need to do anything too special. But if we decided we wanted this summer to splurge a little bit, but still look for that value, what are some good options?
Well, a splurge for me is a well-spent $25 to $50. And I recently went to this really cool show. The series is called Don't Tell Comedy. They do 2 or 3 shows a month at a pop-up venue in town. The one I saw was actually at a circuit training gym just on Main Street. But $25, we saw 6 comedians. It was a good 2.5 hours of entertainment. The comedians are actually funny. Sometimes, comedy shows could, it could be a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And the sort of the setting of the venue with all the workout equipment and stuff was kind of funny. Better yet, it's also BYOB. So I brought a nice Pinot and enjoyed that during the comedy stylings. But $25, you can actually get it's 17 cents a laugh when you sort of calculate it out.
Nice. And I would bring a Schlitz malt liquor beverage. That's my instinct for what you just described.
It's the beverage of comedy. It is. Yeah. And so, you go to don'ttellcomedy.com and they you can just get tickets for their show. They kind of reveal the venue on the day of. They'll tell you what area of town it's in. And then they, surprise, it's at this venue, and adds a little, intrigue to things. But definitely a good value. A great $25 spend.
All right. Well, hey, man, this has been fun, and hopefully people get out there and go do these things, because no reason not to. We've done all the values, including down to free. So Andrew Kiraly of TheList.Vegas, thank you again for coming on CityCast Las Vegas and sharing the knowledge.
Always fun to be here. Thanks again, David.
Before you go, a few things you should know. City Councilman Brian Knutson has called out efforts to get to the bottom of a rash of fires at the Tides apartment complex on Charleston as unacceptable. Last week, a deadly fire there was the third blaze in 3 years. Fire officials refused to say what caused the first two. Knutson is pushing for accountability. And in other news, today we find out what sort of backdoor horse trading shenanigans the Nevada legislature was up to over the weekend as amendments and new discussions around the Oakland A's request for public financing continues in the special session. Will it even make it to the governor's desk? Will Las Vegas get a better deal? Stay here with CityCast Las Vegas as we discuss all the good, bad, and ugly in the days to come. That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, here's what I want you to do. Go pick your favorite episode of CityCast Las Vegas. Hit the share button and get the link, then share it on social media. The best way for us to reach new ears is through you. If you love the show, share it with your friends. It does mean so much to us. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Go Knights, go!
Oh, yes, Mystic Falls, which I actually consider a nature experience, Las Vegas style. Yeah.
So describe it so people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so Mystic Falls is this sort of animatronic laser light show that takes place inside Mystic Falls, which is this entertainment complex inside Sam's Town. I don't know how long it's been there now, but it has a certain eerie, timeless feel. But whether or not you prefer to experience it with the help of psychedelics or not, it's truly a hilariously, slightly terrifying and funny experience. And yeah, free.